Hey teacher friend, welcome back to my channel. My name's Molly and I'm a fifth grade teacher who helps other teachers just like you eliminate stress during literacy time and other parts of your day so you can spend more time teaching and less time prepping. I'm headed into my 9th year of teaching and I wanted to help new teachers by making a video about the top 10 secrets that you need to know before you head into teaching in 2022. It takes a while to get comfortable as a teacher. I know that it took me a few years. It's not to say that you can't get super comfortable the first year, but there's a big learning curve from when you student taught and then completely doing it all on your own as a first year classroom teacher. And there's some things that I've learned along the way. And so I wanted to share 10 things that I think will be super helpful for you as you start teaching. Okay, number one, you do not have to have a classroom theme. My first year teaching, I was making a little bit under $35,000 a year. I was working on 2 master's degrees at once. I had no money for a theme, and I just used things that other people had left and I could borrow or people gave me. And I did see other teachers having really cute themes, and at times I was like, oh, I want a cute theme, but I just knew that spending the money on that, I didn't have to do that. So just know that. And one really cool tip that you can take with you is you can have your students help you decorate the classroom, and then they're a part of it, and they feel like they are extra special because they helped you make their room, which they spent a ton of time there. It's like their second home. Okay, number two, a number line is life-changing for classroom management. I had a really great host teacher that I student taught with, and so I learned that from day one. But I've known other teachers that do not have a number line, and their line would be chaotic because the kids just kind of get in line wherever they want to. They're fighting. You might have 25 kids behind you, and you can't keep track of all of them when you're turning corners and they're like slapping each other, doing silly stuff. Again, that's more of a management issue, but having a number line is key, and you can even make really easy, and you could get like name tags and then write numbers on them and just stick them to the floor. If you have tile, then if you know somebody that's really good with a Cricut, they could make the number line for you. If you have carpet, you can still find a way to do it. Older kids might not need the numbers to step on, but my K-2 teachers definitely do. Students rather, even third graders might even need them. It just helps with personal space and knowing where to stand when they first start school. You might not need it the whole year, but definitely it's something I had in my classroom and it helped a ton. Number three, instead of writing students' names on everything, assign them a number. This is helpful because then you don't have to rip name tags off all year. You don't have to do that every single year. So one of the ways I like to do this is on book tubs, just having their number line spot as their number, and then you don't have to change that every year. That's the biggest part. Now, with my K-1 kids, you might still want to put their name on things if they're learning their names, especially in kindergarten, but the number line, they can still learn their number, and it's really important for them to know that anyway. So having it on everything that they own, their mailbox, it just really helps you that you don't have to rip name tags off every year on every single thing that they're touching. Okay, number four. This is huge because I used to do this and it was a drag every week. You do not have to have 25 different classroom jobs so that everybody has their own classroom job. And believe me, they spend a week doing that job. That's not enough time. So here's a trick that I learned, and take it or leave it, but I only have one teacher helper the entire week. They're like the star of the week, and they get to do every single job. So then I'm not constantly having to worry about like who's doing what job. Remember, oh, who's the pencil sharpener? Who's the lights person? Just have that one person do it. And then that kid knows when it's their week, they get to do everything and they love it. So it really simplifies it. You don't have to have a job chart because of that, and you don't have to keep track of it. I know there's two schools of thought on that, but take that and do what you want with it. It works really well for me, and it took away the stress of having to announce 25 jobs every week and keeping track of all the kids and reminding them constantly what their job was. Oy. Okay, number five, daily five. You guys, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I love daily five, and I have tons of videos on that, but it's one of the easiest ways to efficiently teach all your reading groups. And if you're a new teacher and you didn't learn daily five when you were student teaching, get the book. It's pretty cheap on Amazon. I'll list a link for you to just tap it and underneath the video, so you can just check it out. It tells you how to do everything, and I'm not kidding, it will transform the way you manage your class during literacy time and also how effective you are as a reading teacher. Your kids will be independent. And I'll list some other videos that I've done on this so you can see the benefits of Daily 5 and you can see it in action. So I highly recommend you check those videos out and do Daily 5 for reading time. You can also do it for math as well and writing. So there's so many cool things you can do and help manage your classroom. Okay, number 6, whole brain teaching helps engage your students all day. So whole brain teaching can seem really overwhelming, but things that you might have learned in student teaching or you might see other teachers doing is they're taking little pieces of whole brain teaching and using it, which is great, like a call and response, like, hey, class, hey, yes, that is from whole brain teaching. And one thing I would encourage you to do is to have different calls to your students and switch them up over time so they don't get bored with them. Make them fun, use silly voices. And there is a book that I'll also include about whole brain teaching if you're interested in learning about it. And my advice with that is don't feel like you have to do everything at once. You can definitely do little bits at a time and don't overwhelm yourself, because your first year teaching, you're going to feel like you want to try everything. People are going to give you suggestions all the time. It's going to get overwhelming. So don't let it, and just take a few things at once. All right, number 7. I just mentioned this, but with whole brain teaching, changing your call to action every so often so your students don't get bored. Because you'll notice if you just stick with, hey, class, hey, yes, it'll slowly start to wane in its excitement with them. And I think one of the best things you can do is make it funny, make it silly, like I mentioned before. Number 8, if your school district has a teachers union, then I'm going to encourage you to join it. I probably have talked about this before, but if not, I need to make more videos. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to learn more about this. But I've had a few times where I needed the teachers union because of things that happened in my school at the time, and they were hands down one of the best investments I've ever made. So you do have to pay out of pocket for it, but I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. I know there are some places in the United States that don't have a teacher union, and I'm sorry about that. So that tip doesn't apply to you, but if you have one, join it. You learn so much about the behind the scenes stuff that goes into schools, and it helps give you a layer of protection if anything happens. So again, comment below if you'd like to hear any more stories about that, because I'm happy to do more videos talking about my experience with NEA, which is the union that I'm a part of. Okay, number 9, classroom pets are a fun way to teach responsibilities to your students. I have a few other videos about that as well, so you can go back and check those out. I'm a huge fan of having them, even if you're not a pet person. And in one of my videos, I talked about that. I was not a pet person, or so I thought. And then I realized how much my students enjoyed having class fish, a hamster, and getting my own dog at home was a huge thing for me. I realized I actually really love animals, and I like to teach my students about animals, how to care for pets. And you could even start with just one fish if you just want to dip your toe in the water. But another great pet is a hamster, because you can teach your students how to hold it and how to care for them too. So check those videos out. And I also have a few things in my TPT store to how to get started with class fish, a hamster, guinea pig, to help your students learn about their new class pet and give you some activities to do with them. And I'll include those in the description box too. All right, last. Number 10, you do not have to be a Pinterest perfect teacher to be an amazing teacher. I like things to look nice and neat too, but what I learned over the years is the kids are coming to school for you to learn and consistency. They are not coming to sit on your amazing comfy couch that matches your beautiful calendar with your borders. And all those things are great, but when we have all of our walls completely covered from floor to ceiling with cute stuff that we saw on Pinterest, it overwhelms our kids that are overstimulated by too much on the walls. If you're in K1 as well and you're putting up tons of stuff that has writing on it and they're not even reading it, then what purpose is it serving? So don't overwhelm yourself and compare to what other teachers are doing. They might have different circumstances, like a huge budget, and that might be a big priority to them, but it doesn't have to be for you. And if you do like having a really cute classroom, I like that stuff too. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm just trying to tell you that you don't have to have it to be a great teacher. You just need to love your students and care about what you're teaching. Okay, so there you have it. Those are 10 things that any new teacher going into teaching in 2022 needs to know. The top 10 secrets, I think, that a lot of people don't talk about, and I hope that helps you. If you like this video, please share it with a new teacher friend and tell me in the comments below what you're going to be teaching this year and what you're most excited about. You know I love hearing from you guys, and make sure you go ahead and click the subscribe button so you can be the first to know when I release new videos. Thanks so much for watching.